Hi. Okay, Hannah let me have a little bit of a cider drink, so it's safe to say I'm kind of fucked up. Yeah. Okay. You know what else I have? ADHD. You know what the worst part about having ADHD is? Oh yeah! You know what the worst part is besides not being able to sit down and read anything to my classes, and not being able to sit down and listen to anything to my lectures, and not being able to remember the third thing on this list is? It's that I'm always talking too loud. You know what's like having ADHD? The guy speaking's like, "May I have your attention, please?" And you're just like, Okay, but coincidentally, now, and perhaps the most tragic coincidence that had ever coincided, I don't think before I speak. Okay, remember in elementary school they taught us social skills and one of them was a social filter, think before we speak. Well, guess who had ADHD and couldn't sit down and listen to that lecture? This guy. So not only do I talk too loud, I talk too loud about speaking, and you can imagine what kind of shit that gets me into. And it's like, how do you fuck up talking? It's like driving a train. Just don't crash and burn, and if you keep going, you're fine. But, okay, you make it to a station, you check your phone, you look around at that baby, like, licking shit off the floor. You start zoning out, and suddenly you're getting rear-ended by the next train who is at its scheduled arrival time an hour after yours. And also there's a fire, because a train crash needs a fire. Okay, you might not have crashed, but you better believe it's burning. There's some pretty crispy screams of terror going on back there. Give me a gold star because these passengers are well done. Okay, now picture this. I'm 15 years old. I'm working at a pizza place. Little Caesars. Anyone heard of it? Yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah, there's one in the south tip of Montreal, and that's it. The next closest one is all the way over in Mascouche. Whatever the hell that is. Have any of you met anyone from Mascouche? It's not a real place. Like, you've heard of Narnia, you've heard of Hogwarts, you've heard of, like, Prince Edward Island. It's propaganda. Okay, I'm 15. My parents know the boss, so this is technically child labor, allegedly. It's the middle of a Saturday afternoon and it's slow as hell. I'm super bored. I'm cutting pizzas. This printer spits out another order slip, I tear it off, and I see the guy's name. And when I tell you what this guy's name was. Now, keep in mind, this is a pretty small pizza place. There's basically nothing separating where the customers wait and where we make the food. My coworkers are talking in a little like clump behind me, and I wanted to join and go at full volume. Yo, is this guy's name Grinder? This guy's name is Grinder? But no, apparently it isn't. My coworker tells me to shut the fuck up, and he looks out and apologizes to him. I look out too. He is the only person in that waiting area. His head is in his hands. I don't know if he's laughing or crying. I don't know which one would be worse. You know what is worse? His name isn't Grinder, it's Grinder. Spelt G-R-I-N-D-E-R. That's not even hard to pronounce like most Gaelic names, or Kaylee with an E-I-G-H. Do I have any Kayleys with an E-I-G-H in a crowd today? Okay! And it's like, that's just kind of unfortunate. I did feel bad for the guy. Now 3 months pass, the seasons change, I'm in a whole different grade, I've gotten over it. My manager comes up to me and she's like, "So, David, someone called to complain about you." And I, clueless, I'm like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Yeah, they said you were like making fun of like the word, the name." Oh my god, it's Grinder. Why did it take him 3 months to call back? How many places did he have to call back for it? Take 3 months to reach us. How many places? Because if I get disrespected like that, that's a later than I get back sort of call, not a 3 months later sort of call. Imagine something like Starbucks, the barista has ADHD. Grinder? Venti mocha latte for Grinder? Like, unlimited importance. And from what I've heard, shit's bad if you've got to go to Tim Hortons for a coffee. Okay, that train crash from earlier, he's a passenger in that train. They're pulling him out of the fire on a stretcher. And they're looking for his ID. It's like, yo, this guy's being grinded, and his voice all, his eyes open like Squidward. After he like wakes up inside SpongeBob SquarePants, and he's like, just put me back in the damn fire. And then he goes into shock. And none of the paramedics know this because I'm the paramedic, and I'm ADHD, I'm zoning out. And I'm crashing another train inside my head as we speak. Oh yes, thank you.